Good morning. Welcome back into Wake Up America. I'm Rob Finnerty. The crisis at our southern border is getting worse every single day. It could reach a two-decade peak. In February alone, the number of unaccompanied kids crossing the border numbered at just over 9,200. Joining us now to break this all down is Texas Congressman and co-chair of the Border Security Caucus, Brian Babin. Congressman, nice to have you back on. Good to see you.
Great to be with you, Rob. It is definitely a crisis down there in spite of what the Biden administration
Yeah, no one at
says.
1600 Pennsylvania wants to call it that. I saw a tweet that you put out a day ago where you said the Biden administration is trying to turn America into a sanctuary city. I thought that was perfectly put. My question, do you think the media, especially the left-leaning media and the rest of the Biden administration, are deliberately lying to the American people about what's happening on our southern border?
There's no question in my mind. I mean, they've got an unofficial gag order going on right now.
Right.
I've been in communication with some Border Patrol folks down there, and we also have just read a testimony of an anonymous Border Patrol agent. Certainly does not want the repercussions of having his name exposed, but it's horrendous what's going on down there. In the family unit holding cells, they smell like urine. Yeah. Fights are breaking out. There are 80 individuals in each 24 by 30-foot cell, and the Border Patrol's morale is plummeting. They have encountered 29,000 since the beginning of this fiscal year of unaccompanied minors. It's overwhelming, and I'll tell you that the Biden administration has absolutely failed America, and I'm glad to see that our governor and our state government is going to step up, and they need to do all that they possibly can because it doesn't look like the Biden administration is going to protect America.
Yeah, it seems like Joe Biden is just asleep at the wheel here. We'll see what he has to say in his first press conference in 64 days tomorrow. You've been in Texas your whole life, Congressman, and I think it's important for people to know that you are all for immigration when it's done legally, but you're also very much for law and order.
That's right. My ancestors were immigrants, to this great country, but it's got to be done in the legal fashion. We have people that are standing in line to do it legally, and it takes sometimes several years to get this done. And now with the Biden administration, they've given an open invitation to just get here and get a foot across the border, and then they get to stay. It's gotten so bad and so dire down there, Rob, that they're no longer even setting these illegal immigrants up with an immigration court date to have their asylum claims reviewed and any of their other claims reviewed, and that's illegal. This is a breaking of our immigration law to not give notice to appear in court to these illegal immigrants that come in, and they're just going to flood our country and bankrupt our country and bring in criminals. We know that there's a lot of criminality there. And again, I am a descendant of immigrants. My heart goes out to these people that want to better themselves, but we cannot open our country up to the dangers that President Biden and his administration have done to us.
I am a descendant of immigrants also, and it's part of what makes America what it is today. You know, we just heard a report that 1,200, it might be 1,400 migrants who are not American citizens, right? They're being sent to hotels all along the border. Many are in Texas. In these hotels, they're going to be offered free COVID testing, medical care, food, social workers, and case managers, get this, to help with their travel destinations. Meaning if you're on your way to Charlotte, North Carolina, they're going to help you get tested for COVID. You have a negative test, they'll put you on a bus. Millions of Americans don't have these services anyway, but they definitely haven't had them over the last year during this pandemic. How is that fair and American?
It's not. We've got thousands of National Guard troops up in Washington, D.C. I happen to be home in the district right now. And these National Guard troops have been asked to go beyond what is, I think, reasonable, sleeping on the concrete floors, and no credible threat that we can see from FBI reports on this wall and all these troops in Washington, D.C. And yet at the same time that our National Guard troops are sleeping on the concrete and eating substandard meals, from what we understand, the Biden administration has come up with $86 million to buy hotel rooms, exactly as you said. They're getting stimulus checks, $4.38 billion in stimulus checks. why don't we treat Americans, citizens like this? It just doesn't make any sense. And I'll tell you, I think there's going to be a big payment in 22. The American people know what's going on, and I think they will vote accordingly.
And there's a good chance we're still dealing with this crisis 20 months from now in 2022. Congressman, final question, and this is sort of the big little secret about this whole situation right now. Texas, all right, second most highest number of electoral votes in the country. We just saw Arizona go blue. New Mexico went blue in 2020. How much of this is about making sure those states go blue or stay blue?
It's the only thing that you can think of that would be any kind of logic to what the Democrats are doing. They want to change our electoral process. They want to bring in millions of illegal aliens and give them a path to citizenship so they can vote. Everything points to the fact that this is exactly their plan. And the American people be damned. That's exactly what their philosophy is. There can be no other way to look at this thing.
Yeah.
And I'm leading a delegation of Texas members down to the border this weekend, and looking forward to seeing what we can see. I know there's this gag order. It's hard to get into these facilities, but we're going to insist on getting in and seeing these and seeing it for ourselves. And giving the American people the truth. And I want to thank you, Newsmax, for getting the word out, because the American people are not getting the word.
Well, thank you, Congressman. And please do me a favor. Come back and see us next week after you return from the border. We'd love to hear from you and to hear what you see down there, because we're not hearing a lot of that. Thanks, Congressman. Great to see you. That's